The following information in today's episode is for educational and inspirational purposes only. Elevate Change Radio is not affiliated with or associated with any person, opinion, or information disseminated during this episode. Please consult legal counsel, primary care physician, or trusted business professional accordingly before applying any knowledge in a real life application. Hello, everyone. This is Elza Alanis with Elevate Change Radio. And today I want you to meet Shaobeny Johnson, MED LPC Associate, a therapist, creative entrepreneur, and founder of Shifting with Shaobeny, a faith rooted, trauma informed practice devoted to helping people transform how they experience themselves and their relationships. Originally from Odessa, Texas, Shaobeny's small town roots taught her the value of community, faith, and authenticity, principles that now shape how she builds safe, transformative spaces for healing. Shaobeny holds two master's degrees, an MD in marriage, couples, and family counseling from Lamar University, and an MA in communications from the University of Houston, where her research is centered on cultural diversity and inclusion and advocacy and media representation. She also earned her bachelor's degree in marriage and family services, forming a strong foundation in systems theory and relationship dynamics that continue to inform her clinical approach. Her background bridges psychology, communication, and creativity. Before entering counseling, Shaobeny worked in public relations, teaching, and the performing arts, fields that honed her ability to deeply connect and think strategically and use creative bridges to healing. These experiences inspired her to blend the art of storytelling with the science of transformation, resulting in her signature approach that integrates the nervous system regulation, attachment theory, and relational repair. As a therapist, Shaobeny is passionate about helping clients understand how early attachment wounds shape adult patterns and how the body often carries stories the mind hasn't yet named. She draws from modalities like CBT, EFT, IFS, and somatic awareness to help individuals and couples move towards safety, clarity, and connection. Beyond the therapy room, Shio creates transformative group experiences like the healing table and the shifting intensives that merge psychoeducational, faith, food, and community in a fresh, experimental way. She's redefining what mental health care can look like: deeply human, culturally attuned, and creatively curated. Now based in Houston, she continues expanding her reach through both in person and virtual experiences for individuals and couples and communities across Texas. Whether she's facilitating healing conversations, collaborating with churches and schools, or designing workshops that blend nourishment and neuroscience, Shopeny's mission remains the same: to help people feel safe enough to heal and empowered enough to grow. Okay, let's meet Shobany. See you in a minute. Good evening, everybody. This is Elza Alanis with Elevate Change Radio, and tonight I have Shobany with Shifting with Shobany on, and I'm super excited because she has some really important information to share with us tonight. First of all, she is a licensed professional counseling associate with not one, but two master's degrees, which is super exciting. And she is doing the hard work of helping each and every one of us come to terms with our trauma, our PTSD, and any of the other things that we are struggling with. She has found a way to blend and meet us where we are needing the help the most. She's meeting us where we're at and helping us grow as individuals and as groups. So, with that, I'm going to take it away. Good evening, Shobani.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I want to just dive right on in and talk about what inspired you to pursue counseling.
You know, I always tell people that I didn't choose this. I promise I didn't. I feel like God just placed something on me
Mhm.
that has just been here my entire life. From as I mean, really, as long as I can remember, I've always had people, even people I didn't even really know, just bare their soul to me while we were meeting. And I'm just like, I don't know you. I don't know you. Why are you telling me all your
All this.
secrets, you know?
Mhm.
But people have just always felt really comfortable sharing, and I'm not you won't be able to tell from this interview, but I'm not much of a talker. I've really always been a listener. And so I think it's just a part of my wiring, honestly.
Mhm.
I've always been fascinated with the human mind and why people do the things they do, how they do them, and how people's like lives have impacted them to become the people that they are. So, the older I got, the more that path became clear, even as I pursued other things. Like you said, I have two master's degrees. So, at first, I was in the communication, social media space, and um, I spent some time teaching even, and I couldn't shake it. It was like, no, girl, you were put here to do this. So go do
Mhm.
it.
I understand that. And then I want to ask you, as you figured out that counseling was what you're going to do, were there some pivotal moments or some challenges early on that made you like, ooh, I know I'm doing this, but is this the right path to how to get there? Anything like that happen?
Yes, actually, so during undergrad, I changed my major 4 times. Clinically diagnosed with ADHD, so who's surprised? But I ended up getting my undergraduate degree in marriage and family studies. This was
Mhm.
supposed to be a precursor program to the marriage and family therapy program to become a marriage and family therapist.
Correct.
And in the midst of that program, all of my professors were all therapists, and they would tell these horror stories about, suicidal clients or angry clients husbands coming in to like
Ooh.
try to attack them, just all these crazy things. And I was like 19, 20 in
Hmm.
college. So I'm like, oh no, like there's no mm,
This isn't for me.
this is not for me. But I had way too many credits by that time in that particular major. So I was like,
Way too
let me
many.
just finish and do something else. And so that's why I ended up getting my master's in public relations and was like, let me get as far away from that as possible because there's just no way that I'm going to be able to be in this space helping people that clearly don't want to be helped. This is my assumption as little teenager me. And so that deterred me. But like I said, God was like, oh, no, ma'am, we're going to work our way back to it. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
You're like, oh man, but okay, because I'm good at this.
Yeah. I was
So
like, "This again?"
yeah, this again, why am I coming back to this? So let's talk about the type of therapy that you offer because you got some cool cross blending happening um, from biblical based pastoral counseling for pastors and the congregation. You also do workshops, you do ministry support, you do individual, you do family and couples and marriage counseling, and you do regular group sessions. But the one that really titillated me was your fine arts um, mental health services. That I was like, she does what? This is
Yeah.
so cool. So, talk to
Yeah.
us a little bit about each one.
Yeah, so, on a base level, I'm trauma informed, somatic therapy, doing the things that are going to help individuals face the things that they've gone through in their past, right? That's
Hmm.
at a base level, and it's going to be person centered. Whoever comes, this is centralized to them. I create customized treatment plans that are centered on that particular client. That's surface level, base level, like I said. When we get into couples counseling and family counseling,
Mhm.
we talk about, relational things,
Mm.
attachment theory, different stuff like that. That's really focused on centralizing if compatibility in couples.
Mhm.
Because I think a lot of times people focus on chemistry instead of compatibility. And so that's something that we work on in couples theory and therapy and deciding, is this a good pairing or can we figure out how to enter in a space of if there's children, healthy co-parenting, how to navigate separation, if it ends up in divorce, how to navigate that and how to navigate infidelity, how to, even at the beginning of marriage when we're so happy and so hopeful, let's do premarital counseling. And I work with a organization called Symbis to do facilitate a whole um, assessment that covers many different facets of values and categories for couples to, walk through that
Mhm.
process. When it comes to ministry and church support, I love offering groups to churches. And I was a church baby. Okay. I grew
Yes.
up in the church. I got baptized probably when I was 5 years old. So,
Mhm.
um, I have been involved with ministry as long as I can remember. And I know the difficulties in the background that ministers
Yes.
face. And so being able to offer that support on the leadership level to church leadership and ministers and pastoral staff is something that I'm very passionate about. Especially being able to, like you said, offer it from a biblically based perspective. I was actually doing some writing earlier today about the intersectionality between psychology and the biblical stewardship of our soul. And so
Oh,
that's
goodness.
something that I've really, really wanted to share my passion with others about and educate my brothers and sisters in Christ that mental health uh,
Mhm.
and stewarding your soul aren't two separate issues.
Correct.
There's something that work together. You can't go through deliverance but you still over here not mentally well. In fact, your deliverance is maintained by pursuing mental health, mental wellness. And so being able to customize my modalities to fit from a biblical framework so that it does fit for believers is something that I'm very passionate about and something that I know will be a lifelong work for me. So that's very exciting. With fine
Yeah.
arts, um, I have been dancing since probably since I was 10. And it's funny because I wasn't very good at it at first. And I'm the type of kid, growing up that if I'm not good at something, I don't want to do this no more. I was like, Mom,
I'm done. Check, please.
and I was terrible at dance. I didn't even have rhythm. I remember in the church choir and youth choir, I used to get knocked side to side because I couldn't sway and clap. Yes, it was bad, but I love dance. Oh, I just wanted to be. I have pictures of me as a little girl posing as a ballerina and
Mhm.
I just love dance. And it didn't matter how bad I was at it, I was going to get good at it.
Yes.
And I think that was such a big part of my shaping. And so I did spend a few years as a dance educator. And so being able to come into my own as a mental health professional and
Mhm.
integrate dance
AM. Yeah.
with mental health is something that I'm also very, very passionate about. It was actually one of my students, when I would be on lunch duty, her and her
Mhm.
boyfriend would come and be like, Miss, you're our therapist. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And she's like, but will you listen to us? And I would listen to their issues. And I'm like, just telling them, like, take your time, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, you are so good at this. You should be a therapist. And them saying that made me remember almost who I was,
Mhm.
like calling me back They
To
cen they centered me to the calling that God had already had on my life. Um, Ironically, 2 children with their little high school dating
school
drama,
drama.
and
Because
that
it
was
feels so big at that age, you know?
yes,
Everything feels so big. Um,
yes,
and so needing that help trying to figure out how to navigate relationships and, you're still mentally developing and emotionally developing at that age. And um, being able to come to someone with sound experience and sound knowledge, is really really pivotal because at that age you're really leaning on your friends and they're still learning themselves, but they're trying to talk like they know what's going on, but
yes.
they're giving you bad advice.
Terrible advice. And that was the whole thing. She'd be like, "Well, miss, my friend told me blah 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 blah." And I'm like, "Girl, no ma'am.
No, no,
No.
no, 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 that's not it.
No.
Please
That is
don't do that.
not the solution."
Whatever that is,
Well
that's not
well
it.
exactly.
Whatever that
And
is.
I was so inspired by these interactions of like, man, I wish I did know how to help them more accurately navigate through this. Not just me as an adult talking to kids, but like I could really be helping people.
Correct. Yeah.
And that just it was like the the light bulb, my aha moment. So shout out to my dance students
Yes.
for making me live out my counselor therapist life even before I knew that that was something I wanted to go back to.
Yeah.
They stirred that gift up in me. So, yeah, that offering of being able to integrate dance into
Mhm.
therapy is like my love letter to them and to little girls like me that, love art and
Yep.
find words hard, but dance
Yes.
is easy.
That
Uh,
was me. That
yeah.
was me. I was that girl, and, with all the things going on, in my life, dance was one of the things that helped center me.
Mhm.
I took it all the way to college. I
Wow.
went and got my BA in fine arts and dance and choreography, and, I was sitting here when I was reading about how you're doing that mental health service integration with fine arts. I was like, where was she when I needed her? I was going
Yay.
through things and I needed someone like this. It just like I got so excited when I read about that. I was like, yes, yes. It
Yeah.
sounds like to some it may sound like I'm not sure what that means, but anybody who's in performance arts, there is a level of stress that comes with that unless you're in it, you can't fathom the pressure,
Yeah.
especially if you're doing it competitively or
Yeah.
even as performance art. The pressure of, I created something and I want to put it out to the world, but I'm scared. I'm nervous. What if it's rejected? How do
Yeah.
I handle that? Because this is something very personal and raw to me, and I'm trying to share it. And the minute someone rejects it, how do I not spiral out of control and feel like I'm being rejected?
Right.
All of those things.
Yeah.
So, shout out and kudos for finding a way to blend that and offer that to our community. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, it's something that I'm so excited about being able to do for all of those reasons that you just stated because, I being that I was terrible at dance for so long. Oh my gosh, it took me until I got into high school to finally like something clicked.
Mhm.
And but it was like the pressure, like you said, it's unimaginable if you haven't experienced it. And as I was coming up with how to package this offering, I was like, what did I need at that age? And
Mhm.
do I wish would have been there when I was going through these things? So everything
Mhm.
you're saying, it resonates with me for sure. And
Oh my
that's
gosh.
exactly why my heart is so for it.
Yes, yes, yes. So I want to talk about what your day to day looks like because as someone who does virtual and in person, I can imagine it is a very interesting calendar that you hold.
Yeah, yeah, no. Working with clients virtually as well as in person, it actually like breaks up the monotony because,
Mhm.
some days can get really, really heavy.
Yeah.
Especially when, if you're working with people who are really dealing with deep rooted trauma.
Hmm.
So balancing out that schedule and having, teenagers in the mix, of a
Hmm.
couple in the mix, an individual in the mix, and then maybe throwing in another teenager, it helps to balance it out. So because some people's presenting issues are lighter than others, obviously. We're all in different stages and phases of our life. So it does make it a balance. I'd like to keep my caseload manageable for my mental health so that I can be everything that I can be to my clients. Uh,
Hmm.
so it doesn't get too out of control. I'm not seeing like 30 people in a day or anything. Uh,
Okay.
but it does make for a very interesting day.
Hmm.
But I always people are like, how do you just listen to people's problems all day? And I'm like, girl, I guess I sat with my granny and watched Maury enough that I can handle it.
I think most of us little girls have memories of, if not grandma, mama watching the soaps and, Maury and what was his name with the glasses? Jerry Springer and all
Yeah.
of those things in the summertime. It's like, oh, this is what y'all be watching while I'm at school. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
Getting
Yeah.
all the drama in. Um, let me ask you this. What is the core message you want clients and even the audience that's listening to us um, take away when they think about your services? What do you want them to think? What is the core message?
Yeah. I want people to know that your story is your story. And that therapy is not about um taking your story away from you. It's reframing it to make
Mhm.
it where you can read it and you can
Mm,
be proud of it.
I like that.
I think so many times we have our own history that we might be ashamed of or we might be uncomfortable with. But when you can look at your own story and say, I went through these things, but these things are not who I am. Uh,
Yes, amen.
that is what gives you the shift.
Mhm.
That's why, um, that's the name of my practice, the shift and shifting with Shaobeny, because we want to shift from beauty from ugliness into beauty. We
Correct.
want to shift from negativity and shift that into a positive mindset. I think about the scripture that says that he gives us beauty for ashes. uh,
Yes.
I think about the scripture that says that we are not conformed to this world, but we're
We're
transformed by
transformed
the
by the
renewing of
renewing
our
of our
mind.
mind.
And so those things are fundamental and they anchor me in my work. And that's, what I pass on to my clients, even my clients who don't consider themselves believers,
Mhm,
it's still fundamental and it's still the heart of where I
mhm.
practice from. So, yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my gosh. So is there a myth that you want to debunk when people think counseling that you're like, hey, don't don't think that about counseling because that's not what it really is. Is there any myth that you want to like say, hey, just a quick small cap, small caption to just say, give it a try, be open-minded.
Two things. That
Okay.
was four. Two things. Two. I would say a lot of people think that coming to therapy is just talking, and I could just talk to my friend, or I go talk to my mama, or I could, talk to anybody for free. Why do I need to come
Mhm.
talk? Therapy is more than just talking. And it's it's about getting into um the depth of what went on and working through those things and processing them, not just on a cognitive level, because a lot of
Okay.
people think that all of our issues are cognitive. I know that cognitively, um the sky is blue, but neurologically or psychologically,
Mhm.
something may be coloring my sky purple, right?
Yes.
Therapy is to get me back to the fact that the sky is blue. And that's
Mhm.
not something that you can just talk through. That's something that you have to work through. You have to do the work.
Correct.
Uh, and that's the first thing I tell clients is that, therapy is not, it's not easy. It's a work of bravery to even come, and it's a work of resilience to stay in it.
Mhm.
Uh, and yeah, it's more than just talking,
Yes.
but it's worth it to get back to the sky
To
being.
Yes, I love that. That yes, everything that I felt about therapy, you just like bing, 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 bing. Hey, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with a word from our sponsors. Ready to fall in love with your natural hair all over again? At Creative K, we don't just style, we celebrate your crown. Step into our salon and experience personalized care that brings out the best in your coils, curls, and kinks. From protective styles to restorative treatments, we craft looks that empower. And for your at home glow up, grab our best selling hair growth oil that is infused with nature's finest ingredients to nourish your scalp and stimulate growth. Pair it with our hydrating rose water mist for daily moisturizer that keeps your strands soft, strong, and radiant. Your hair tells a story. Let Creative K help you write it beautifully. Book your appointment today or shop online because your crown deserves nothing less than royalty. Creative K, your roots, our canvas. Are you ready to get your business heard? Whether you're a rising star or Fortune 500, it's time to amplify your brand with the power of podcasts. Elevate Change Radio is opening its airwaves to you. Yes, you. Submit your commercial today and let your message reach thousands of eager ears across our community. Whether you have a promo, a new product, or a story to tell, send us your ad or interview request and we'll make waves on our podcast and beyond. For information regarding your ad submission and pricing or interview, email ads at elevatechangeradio.com. That's ADS at elevatechangeradio.com. In Houston, your dream home isn't just a place, it's a feeling. At Umbrella Realty, we help first time homebuyers and luxury seekers find more than just a house. We help them find home. With a personal touch and deep local expertise, Umbrella Realty makes the journey seamless, exciting, and unforgettable. Whether you're buying your first home or your next masterpiece, let Umbrella Realty be your guide. Contact Crystal Morris, your favorite Texas realtor, at 281 865 2092. Again, that's 281 865 2092. Umbrella Realty, luxury, trust, Houston. Visit umbrellarealtytx.com and step into your future. Um, so let's talk a little bit more about the business side of it. Um, what is one thing that you've learned in this process while you're building your business, your brand, um, that is whether it's a challenge or an opportunity that you're like, I stumbled upon this opportunity and I'm like, whoa, I can't be prouder of myself for doing X.
Marketing. Marketing. Oh my goodness. They do not teach you how to market, boys and girls, in school while you're becoming a counselor. Make sure that you know the basis of marketing if you are going to go and be a therapist. They do not teach you anything about it. Uh, thank God that, I did my little detour to public relations and got exposed to the social media world and everything, marketing is hard. It's really hard if you don't know what you're doing.
Mm,
And so being able to market myself, to do so as organically as possible, and not so much rely on technology is something that I've been really proud of. And it's how I've been able to connect with people like you know, going to networking
mhm.
events and connecting face to face, because I think when people get to meet you face to face and you're not just a post on social media,
Yeah.
that really makes a difference. And so I've been really proud of myself of getting out there, and doing the hard thing and connecting with people that I don't know, they don't know me, and introducing my baby to the world, because it's a vulnerable thing to, you know, start a business. And so, yeah, I think a lot of therapists are have struggle with that, you know, that therapy, having a practice is a business, and we just come into it just like, oh, I just want to help people.
Wow.
That's all I care about. I just want to help
Yeah.
people. But you have to be a businessman or a businesswoman. And yeah, you have to tackle that. So I'm been really proud of myself for being an entrepreneur.
So, okay, so what is a strategy that you use to encourage yourself while you're being an entrepreneur or a tool?
I take joy in the L's because
Yes.
everything, if someone says no, if they decide not to work with you, that just means that person isn't your client. You know, that doesn't mean that they're rejecting you. It just means that you weren't aligned. And
Correct.
I think that that's something that we have to accept in life, is that every no that we get, it just means that that opportunity and myself were not aligned, and or that person and I were not aligned, the job and I were not aligned, and so I am seeking after alignment, because what's for me is what I should want, right? So I can't
Yes.
hold on to what passes me by, because that
Correct.
just means that it wasn't for me. And just really staying focused on that. It does get discouraging, you know, when you're wanting to see success quickly, or, you know, you put out certain efforts and they're not returning, you know, giving you the return on your investment that
Yes,
you
ma'am.
wanted. But keep the resilience to keep going. Um, it's just so necessary. And I think with being a psychotherapist and telling my clients, like, you have to be resilient, you have to keep going. What would it look like if I didn't? So I gotta practice what I preach, and just enjoy the ride, because this is as simple as it will ever be. Uh,
Yes.
and the greater that comes is going to require more energy and a different version of me than even exists right now. And so
Correct.
I'm just appreciating the version of myself that I am right now.
Amen. Yes, ma'am. That's what I'm talking about. So let's just kind of jump into some fun personal stuff. So, what are two things you want everyone to know about you as a person?
I am super I'm actually really shy, which is really funny. I'm really shy. So if you see me out in public and I'm just like, hi, you know, like, don't feel like I'm being off-putting. That's just my temperament.
Mm.
It's I'm a slow to warm up girl. Hid behind my mom's legs when I was younger.
Oh my gosh, you did it too.
Yes.
My
Yes.
family, have, I'm probably going to be into my centennial years before my family lets it go because they will be quick in a hurry to tell anybody. Listen, that girl was attached to her mama to the hip. Sure was. If she was still here today, I'd still be attached to me.
Girl.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was my girl, honey. So yes, I'm listen, she would have to physically, as a little girl, she would sometimes physically have to like pull me from her and be like, go introduce yourself.
Go play.
Go play. Like, stop staying right behind. Like, what are you doing? Why are you under this table sitting under my legs? Like, if you don't go over there where those other little kids are, please.
Yeah. Yes. No, like, and everybody, you always want to be in grown folks' business. No, I just don't want to go be social. Thanks. I'm trying to stay in my own little corner.
And besides, y'all have the better conversation anyway, because I want to know what's
Right.
going on. I want the tea.
Right. Right. Don't know what they talking about. Don't have no
No,
context.
no context clues, no true understanding. But honey, the way y'all are animated about it,
It
that
sound good.
it sounds good. This is where I need to be, honey.
Right. They over there playing tag. No, right
Listen,
here. I want to talk.
and as a kid, I went undiagnosed until I became a young adult to find out I had asthma. So I'm not really interested in running and playing anyway. I was never that girly. No, please, please don't. I'd rather, which circling back to dance, which was ironic because all of that physical activity, lungs burning on the drill team, giving my life away in the summer, doing those line kicks until we got them perfect. Child, lungs on fire.
But it's just so it's the joy of it. It's the thrill.
Exactly.
It's the thrill. I tore a ligament in my knee at
Oh my gosh.
competition in high school and kept dancing. And they had to carry me off. Last
Listen,
competition of my senior year. I didn't care. I got to dance.
listen.
It's
I
really
went out with a
crazy.
bang. I went out with a bang. That's what's important.
It's crazy. No one understands it. Dancers get it.
Yes.
We do crazy stuff that makes $0 and 0 cents.
Listen,
It's for
ankles
the love of
wrapped,
the game.
knee wraps, underneath the tights, just going through it. But you got to get out there. Put yourself
Yes,
out there.
yes. That's it. That's it.
All
And there's
right.
no other thing that I would commit that hard to. Uh, Crazy. Crazy when I think back on it.
When I think about the level of dedication that I gave to that art, and honey, sometimes I think that I'm still in my 20s and I can still give my life away. And I'll get out there on the dance floor doing regular club dancing, and my body's like, "Yeah, girl, hmm we got something for you in the morning. We got something for you. Times have changed, sis."
Please go sit down. Have
Uh-huh.
several seats.
Listen,
Several.
yeah, several seats, my dear, several. So, another quick round question: is there like a song or a mantra that you do in the mornings to get yourself ready for the day?
Hmm. I mean, probably when I wake up, I pray. I pretty
Mm-hmm.
much like, say the same thing to God every morning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really how I start my day. I love a slow morning. A
Yes.
slow morning is the best morning. Like if I have to be rushed anywhere, I I'm I don't like it. I don't like it. I
No.
love a slow morning. Rise, I pray, might turn some music on,
Mhm.
might sit in silence, and, let my dogs out. We go for a walk and I'm chatting with God through that time and just slowly waking up. That's how I like to start my morning. And that's the best thing. I feel like it really grounds me, because when I am riled up, the nervous system is just not okay, and, like, now I have to, like, try to get myself together for the rest of the day, so,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm. I
yeah.
can appreciate that. Having that time, being able to have that grace. So many of us who work like a 9 to 5, and it's so demanding because they want you there at 8 or 7 in the morning, and not even adding kiddos in the mix and getting school, like just a regular single individual trying to get together. It's making that routine to be very dedicated, almost greedy, to say, no, I'm going to honor myself first, whether, like you said, whether they believe in God or not. Um, and center myself so that way I'm prepared for the day. It is hard for most, individuals to get that because the demanding schedule and, that means they're either up at 6 or maybe 5 o'clock because they got to get somewhere by 8 and they got to get through 2 hours, hour and a half of traffic and then they're just boom, hit the ground running and then get off work, hit the ground running, just trying to get home or make it to appointments or whatever it is. So um, being that dedicated that you're doing that and saying, I don't care how busy my schedule is, from this time to this time, before my feet hit the ground running, I am going to talk to God. I'm going to center myself. I'm going to honor myself. Is so precious and important. And it's something that I am personally working on because I've lived the rat race. And this last year and a half, I've really been trying to be more intentional with my morning and just sitting with me and appreciating me before I just boop, off to the next thing.
Yeah. That's
Mm,
so important. It's so important. You know, the hustle and bustle of just American culture is just so detrimental to us, and we
mm,
have to reclaim as much as we can,
correct.
even if that takes, you know, maybe waking up a little bit earlier, going to sleep a little bit earlier, not scrolling social media. Uh,
Hmm.
we have to take those steps to reclaim our peace because it just shouldn't be for sale.
Correct.
Yeah.
It really shouldn't.
Yeah.
Um, so, what would you describe your journey so far? What would be like maybe 3 or 4 words or a sentence, or maybe one word? What would you say?
I'm on an emotional roller coaster.
Yes.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, definitely. That's what I would describe it as, but I count it all joy.
Yes. 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 Um, is there a dream collaboration that you have?
Oh, man. Um, a dream collaboration. So, I don't know if anybody watches the podcast Hardly Initiated, but a
Hmm.
couple weeks ago, there was a psychotherapist on there. Her name is Dr. Spirit. I would love to work with Dr. Spirit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she is focuses a lot on like couples and working with the Black community, and I would just love to work with her. Um, she just knows her stuff, and I'm just like, wow, one day when I've been in this
Girl.
business for all this time, like I'm gonna be somebody to look up to too, because man, she's cold. Like I was just sitting watching in awe, like, oh,
Hmm.
it's like she just always knows what to say. And it's crazy because my clients will be like, you always know what to say. And
That's
I'm
what I was gonna say. You are there already. I want you to know, like you,
like,
ma'am, you're there. You are the it girl.
that blesses me, Elsa. It really does. But I have to say that I just know that God tells me what I need to say because
Hmm.
there are some moments that even I'm in session saying stuff and I'm like,
Where is this coming from? What?
did I just say,
Okay.
oh, I wish I was recording this session? Like.
Yeah.
So like I said, like I did not call myself to this at all. So yeah. Yeah, when and maybe that's why he keeps me in the place of like, oh,
Yeah.
because I'm so intentional in session because I want to be that
That's
therapist. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So, any upcoming clinics or anything like that that you want, the audience to know, like, hey, if you really like what I'm doing, come meet me over here.
Yeah, so I have a couple of offerings that I'm working on. Currently, I have something called the healing table. And what it is a group therapy experience
Mhm.
that is also collaborating with a culinary artist. Um,
Okay.
yes, so we'll have a group therapy session. You can share or you can just listen. And then, we'll all share a meal together that is
Oh
going to
my
be
God.
chef's kiss, no pun
Yes.
intended. And that's
Yes.
the thing. Right now, the theme is like dealing with holiday grief. People
Yeah.
have isolation from family, emotional separation, people dealing with grief of losing a loved one. And so just having somewhere that's not so, heavy, but that is healing to come to during the holiday seasons because this is not the most wonderful time of the year for everyone. So,
Correct.
yeah,
Yes. Yes. I'll admit, my listeners know that I'm still reeling from losing my mom.
yeah,
You know, that was my girl. So for me, the holidays are particularly tough because she loved the holidays and she made them magical, obviously, as a little girl. And then into my adulthood, regardless of, what was going on with her and her physical and mental state, with her health decline, um, it was still a special time together on top of our regular everyday special time. But so yeah, I go through it. In fact, Thanksgivings, I managed, I made it. I
yeah,
talked, I laughed, I had a really good time. And when I went to bed, I was mentally exhausted and emotionally exhausted and missing my mama.
yeah.
And I processed that and I talked to God about it and I said, okay, I miss her. I know I miss her. I went in here and I made, one of her famous dishes and I enjoyed doing it and I had fun doing it. But when it's all said and done, the sting is still there. But the thing is, I have a network of family who's willing to talk it out with me, laugh it out with me, cry it out with me. So being able to go somewhere if you don't have that is monumental. And
Yeah.
the fact that you have merged it yet again with something else that is arts performative, because culinary arts, honey, I'm a foodie. I like eating. So I'm all like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Yes, yes, I'm very excited about it, and we're offering a couple this first cohort
Mhm.
was in November. It was a really nice time. I
Okay.
like to keep the group small, intimate because,
Okay.
it's just it's just heavy,
Yeah.
so dealing with this season, but it also was so joyful,
And
being
enriching.
able, yes, to talk, to share a meal, to share memories, whatever was needed, and just different people from different walks of life being able to come together. So, I think in total it'll be, uh, we're having another one this weekend, and then I want to do one more
Mhm.
for the holiday season right after Christmas on the 27th. So, yeah, we're just really excited to be able to offer these to the community, and I'm also doing one virtually for people who live in the state of Texas. Anywhere in the state of Texas, they can join, so that they have that opportunity to share and have a therapeutic moment to just let off some of the heaviness if they don't, like you said, have a support system.
Mhm.
And even if you do have a support system, sometimes it's hard to process grief with your family.
Mhm.
Because I know for me, when I've gone through times of grief, it's hard for me to process grief with family because I'm like, well, I know in some way you're grieved too. So I
Yes.
don't want to impose,
Boop, 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 boop. Right
yeah,
there. That right there. That was a huge hurdle year one for me.
yeah,
Like they're like, why don't you talk to us? I know that y'all all miss her too. You all have your own grief, and we all have other family members that we've all lost relatively in a short amount of time around the same time of my mom. So I don't want to trigger anyone, was my problem.
yeah,
And they were like, you're not triggering me because we are sharing. And being able to have that, I don't think, if I didn't have it, I don't think I would be as adjusted as I am thus far. But
yeah,
again, grief is not something that you get over in a year or two. It's like you said, it goes up, it goes down. It's a seasonal thing. It's a spur of the moment thing, catch you off guard. Someone might say a phrase, whether they know you or don't know you, and it might bing. Next thing you know, whoa, you're reeling and you're trying to stay in the conversation, but your mind is now in grief land,
Yeah.
focused on your missing your loved one, and you're trying to stay in the present and you are fighting for your life.
Yeah. I always tell clients that, with grief, it comes in waves.
Yes.
And we don't want to be on a door like Jack and Rose was in
Oh,
the
child.
Titanic. We need a boat, and
Yes.
so doing grief work in therapy is building a boat, not just having a raft or a canoe, because sometimes the waves are too big to
Yes.
just have a little paddle in a canoe. We need
Talking about just,
something sturdy. We need an
yeah.
ark to
Especially if there's a
sit in.
storm on top of it, the
Yes.
waves plus the storm, and you're getting beat down on, two or three fronts. Sometimes you need more than just, that little bit of help. And so knowing where you can go, and having options is very important and critical.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm. Well, to wrap us up, tell everyone where they can schedule a session or how they can get in contact with you.
Yeah, so you can go to my website. It is shiftingwithshobany.com.
Mhm.
And you can even call me or shoot me a text at 832-899-4602. I'd love to chat with you and get you going. I'm
Oh,
honored to
that's
serve.
wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Shobani, for taking time out of your evening to meet with me and share with Elevate Change Radio.
No,
Um,
you. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to chat with you.
yeah, this was fantastic. I'm super excited about what you're doing. And so, yeah, happy post Thanksgiving and
Thank
happy
you.
pre
Likewise.
Christmas.
Likewise. And a happy new
And
year.
happy new year to everyone out there. Thank you so much for joining in, and listening at Elevate Change Radio, engaging, empowering, and elevating our community. Have a wonderful night. Bye. As we say goodbye to one another, I want to thank you, listeners, for your support as we grow and expand our podcast reach and content. Please stay tuned for our next episode and check out our latest newsletter on our website at elevatechangeradio.com. Let's grow together and support one another. Have a beautiful day from Elevate Change Radio, empowering, engaging, and elevating our community. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great night. Bye bye.